Ele é um grande lutador, mas eu não preciso provar mais nada pra ninguém de quem eu sou, o que eu já fiz dentro da Bisping Cage. Essa outra chegou na oportunidade gigantesca, eu vou nocautear esse cara, essa é ela.
Pero não acho que quando sai de uma categoria você merece lutar direto pela outra, pelo título. Pero tem muitos caras que estão peleando em busca desse título, então um cara chegar e furar a fila.
Minus 370 favorite Topuria is to beat Charles Do Bronx Oliveira. Minus 370.
That is insane. That is not right.
What's up, fight fans, and welcome back to the channel. The lightweight division is about to be set on fire as former champion Charles Do Bronx Oliveira is on a collision course with the undefeated Ilia El Matador Topuria for the vacant UFC lightweight title at UFC 317. Charles Oliveira is radiating confidence as he heads into UFC 317, making it crystal clear he's not just looking for a win, but a definitive finish against Ilia Topuria. Despite Topuria's unblemished record and knockout power, Oliveira believes his own skills and experience at lightweight will be the deciding factors. Do Bronx has faced the elite of the division and feels he has nothing left to prove, seeing this fight as a massive opportunity to reclaim gold. He's acknowledged Topuria as a great fighter but remains steadfast in his self-belief. Oliveira recently stated,
"What are your thoughts on Ilia Topuria and Ilia Topuria as a fighter? How do you feel about just the overall fight?"
É uma grande luta, ele é um grande lutador, mas eu não preciso provar mais nada pra ninguém de quem eu sou, o que eu já fiz dentro da Bisping Cage. Essa outra chegou na oportunidade gigantesca, eu vou nocautear esse cara, essa é ela.
Who's gonna knock this guy out?
On the other side, Ilia Topuria is brimming with his own brand of unshakable confidence. While he initially had his sights set on Islam Makhachev, Topuria has shifted his focus and is now looking to make Oliveira pay the price. He's shown respect for Oliveira's accomplishments, particularly his record for the most submissions in UFC history, but El Matador firmly believes he will emerge victorious. Topuria feels that while Oliveira is dangerous, especially on the ground, he has a tendency to break when faced with superior power and adversity. Topuria shared his assessment of Oliveira.
I like him, of course. He has a great ground game and striking, nothing special for me. In the ground, he's dangerous. He has the most submissions in the UFC history, I think so. Him? Yeah, I think so. He's a dangerous guy in the ground, but I think that he's the kind of guy that when he feels that you are more powerful, he gives up. He gives up like fast. I don't think that he's the kind of fighter where he finds like some adversidad. How you say
Adversary?
that? Yeah, adversary that he keeps going. No, he's like, he gives up. 10 losses. 10. It's not 1, 2, 3, 4,
Can you go to his
5,
record? But
6,
I think it was
7, 8, 9. It's 10.
Topuria, who previously knocked out Alexander Volkanovski and Max Holloway at featherweight, is eager to prove his power translates to the lightweight division, where he already holds a knockout win over Jai Herbert. He's made bold statements about his capabilities at 155 pounds. And in a message to Oliveira, while lamenting Makhachev's divisional move, Topuria declared,
Bueno, en primer lugar agradecerle a Charles, la verdad, por haber aceptado el reto, ¿no? Algo que Islam no hizo y tiene que pagar el precio por Islam. La verdad, me da mucha pena por Charles, pero bueno, al final del día es mi trabajo.
Charles Oliveira tiene mayor número de sumisiones en la UFC. Dijiste que querías someter a Makhachev, no sé si quieres doblar la apuesta con Oliveira y someterlo.
No sé, con Oliveira la verdad que lo que sea menos doloroso para él, eso es lo que haré porque me cae muy bien.
Interestingly, despite Oliveira's status as a former champion with a history of incredible finishes, Ilia Topuria has opened as a significant betting favorite, with some lines showing him as a minus 370 favorite. This has certainly raised eyebrows in the MMA community. UFC legend Chael Sonnen was particularly taken aback by these odds, emphasizing Oliveira's championship pedigree and record-breaking submission wins.
Minus 370 favorite Topuria is to beat Charles Do Bronx Oliveira. Minus 370.
That is insane. That is not right.
To be the world champion that defended 3 times, has more submissions than anyone in UFC history, and he's a minus 370 favorite.
The upcoming clash has everyone talking, with fighters and analysts weighing in. UFC lightweight Mateusz Gamrot believes Charles Oliveira's size, experience, and striking will be too much for Topuria. While acknowledging Topuria's power, Gamrot sees Oliveira securing a knockout, also highlighting the Brazilian's grappling advantage should the fight hit the mat. Gamrot gave his take.
Ilia or Charles?
Interesting matchup. The both guys has changed. Like if Ilia hit Charles Oliveira head, so he can knock him down for sure. But I think Oliveira is so big for him and for all-rounder fighter, and I think Oliveira will win this fight.
You think Oliveira's gonna win? I haven't heard a lot of people say that.
I think so. He's big. It depends how his performance will be in the fight, because sometimes he looks bad, but sometimes he looks fantastic. So I think in the ground he will be much better for Ilia. Especially like the Gamrot is much different. Oliveira is big guy. Ilia is small guy. So if Oliveira catch him in the ground, I think this is gonna be big problem. But like I say, Ilia can knock him out for him also, you know. So this is like 50-50, but I think Oliveira will win.
Paddy Pimblett, another lightweight, sees a strong chance for Topuria, describing Oliveira as chinny and sometimes reckless, though incredibly skilled on the ground. Pimblett emphasized the often underestimated impact of the 10-pound jump from featherweight to lightweight, and believes Topuria might be surprised by Oliveira's actual size in the octagon. Pimblett discussed Topuria's chances and the weight difference.
Ilia beats Charles then?
I think he might, to be honest. Charles is a bit chinny, isn't he? You know what I mean? He's had about 40 fights or something. He always gets punched. He always gets cracked.
Yeah.
So,
he's reckless, but he's super exciting.
Yeah, he is.
And he's dangerous.
Exciting. If he gets him down, I can see him winning, because that 10 pounds difference is a big difference.
Yeah.
145 to 155, it's a big difference. People don't understand that because they don't watch the sport or they're not involved in the sport. But that 10 pounds makes a big difference. And especially like Charles is like my height, Ilia's like down here when I stand up, you know what I mean? So it's gonna make a big difference. You might get a bit of a fright at how big Charles is when he stands opposite him. Fighters do that with me, who fight at lightweight. You know what I mean? I'll never forget Bobby Green looking over at me and being like, what, he's big him. Same with Chandler. Like people thought Chandler was going to be bigger than me, and he just weren't.
Former UFC champion Michael Bisping described Oliveira as a perpetually dangerous and aggressive fighter, but noted this is Topuria's first lightweight title fight. The Count praised Topuria's punching power, boxing, pressure, and Greco-Roman wrestling, stating he wouldn't be surprised if El Matador pulls off the win, calling him highly impressive and a hammer who consistently finishes opponents in style.
Ilia versus Charles "Do Bronx" Oliveira. We know Charles, he's a dangerous, aggressive son of a... He's going to walk forward, punches, knees, elbows, he'll lock on a submission. Ilia, this is his first fight at lightweight, and with the punching power of Ilia Topuria, the boxing that he has, the footwork that he has, and the Greco-Roman wrestling, it wouldn't surprise me if Ilia pulls it off. I would say Ilia Topuria, given everything that he's done in the sport, the confidence that he's shown, the manifestation, as the kids say, but bringing it all to a reality, knocking out everyone in his way, doing it in absolute style, hardly breaking a sweat, not having to fight through any adversity, not being the hammer and the nail. He's just been the hammer, just hammering his way through everyone. If he beats Charles Oliveira, which I would assume that he's going to be the favourite to do, and that's with absolutely no disrespect towards Charles Oliveira.
MMA guru and Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson also discussed the bout. Guru highlighted it as a massive pay-per-view draw, while Johnson pointed out that Topuria is actually quite large for a featherweight, reportedly walking around at 191 pounds, making the move to lightweight a logical step.
If Ilia Topuria fights Charles Oliveira on a pay-per-view, that's a big deal.
Oh, it's going to be bigger.
They don't need to wait for an interim belt. They don't need to wait for an undisputed. So, yeah. I don't know how he's going to do it lightweight, though. Maybe you can speak on that. He's a smaller guy coming up.
It's a smaller coming up. It'll be interesting because he is bigger from when I heard him on the Joe Rogan podcast. Like 191, I think he was walking around. It's massive. So for him to cut to 145 seems almost like, how did he do that? But now that he's grown up to 155, I always like when athletes go up.
Former two-division champion Henry Cejudo questioned how Oliveira's chin will hold up against Topuria's devastating knockout power, noting Oliveira has been dropped in past fights. Cejudo praised Topuria's ability to mix up his attacks effectively and believes that unless Oliveira makes crucial adjustments, Topuria could become a two-division world champion.
Charles Oliveira has been dropped by just about everybody that he's fought. What happens when you go up against a dude that's knocking people out, not TKOing people, knocking people out cold like Ilia Topuria? Ilia Topuria goes high-low. He can go to the body. He can go up top. We saw him one time at 155 pounds where he did get hurt, but the Matador in him, he came back and he ended up knocking him out. Charles Oliveira is the bigger fighter, taking down Michael Chandler, taking down Justin Gaethje with those beautiful double legs. Charles Oliveira is the guy that has to make those adjustments. If not, it's going to be the double champ. It's going to be Ilia Topuria securing himself as a two-division world champion.
Finally, Daniel Cormier pinpointed what he believes is Topuria's most significant weapon, his unwavering confidence. Cormier shared that Topuria's mindset of not knowing how to lose drives his fearless and dominant performances.
Confidence is key. I think the biggest thing that Topuria has right now is confidence. And I told Justin and I were talking about that. He goes, dude, he doesn't know how to lose, so he's so confident that he can beat anyone that he goes out there and he fights in the way that he did.
So there you have it, fight fans. UFC 317 is shaping up to be an absolute barn burner. Charles Oliveira is promising to finish Ilia Topuria, while Topuria is vowing to make Oliveira pay and capture his second UFC title. With expert opinions split and both fighters exuding incredible confidence, this vacant lightweight championship bout on June 28th is truly a must-see event. The verbal jabs will continue, but soon it will be time to settle it all inside the octagon. Who do you think takes home the lightweight strap? Will Oliveira's experience and relentless attack prevail? Or will Topuria's power and precision mark the arrival of a new two-division force? Let me know your predictions in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more MMA news and analysis, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.